Welcome to Chaos Connections, the definitely not safe for work podcast, working to remove the Instagram filter from parenting and daily life. Because let's face it, it sucks. We're three moms. I'm Raven.
Harley.
Rain. Parenting our darling demonic.
Crotch fruit.
I just call them my spawn, depending on how I feel about it. But we're doing that while trying to maintain relationships, careers, a sense of humor, and our sense of self, which includes getting tongue-tied on stupid shit.
Shit, did we forget about our fitness?
Working on my fitness.
We've always forgotten about our fitness.
Well, I'll add that to the damn list.
Join us through triumphs, laugh and commiserate with our struggles, marvel at the batshit craziness that is our lives. Just be mindful of our motto.
BT dubs, it's in Latin, and I have no clue how to say it.
I fake it till you make it, so Iramabu Circuitu et Quiramus.
I know it translates to FAFO.
Or just keep it simple. Fuck around and find out.
And if it sounds like a spell, it's probably because it is.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Hello, and welcome to 2025 Chaos Connections listeners. This is the official episode 1, season 2 for our podcast. And we decided that we are going to take it back a little bit. And our most played episode of last season was getting to know your hosts.
Which is crazy to me that y'all are that invested in getting to know us. It blows my mind.
So we're going to do a pardo. And
A what?
Pardieu.
Yeah.
Okay,
2.
we're not that. No,
Dos.
we're not that bougie. Stop it. Numero
Fine.
dos. Stop
Dude.
speaking foreign languages. We're doing number 2.
Okay, no, we are not doing number 2.
Phrasing is a thing. Phrasing. So, yes, this is getting to know your hosts.
Do you mean poo? Because I feel like number 2 could also be referencing like a kink thing.
No, it's a poo thing.
Okay.
Oh my God, my hosts are insane. So
welcome
back to getting to know your host.
You're welcome.
Maybe this will, this is for new listeners, and maybe I won't be making people sound like Darth Vader by smoking directly into my mic. You never know. I might. Throwback time.
So we stop it, Raven. So we decided, you know what? We are very fortunate and pleasantly surprised at the way that our podcast has been received and just the growth that we've seen since we started. And we wanted to, in one way, say thank you by recapping and kind of zhuzhing up the I know I gave you guys shit for using fancy words, and now I'm using fancy words. We're trying to make the
zhuzhing is a fancy word.
I don't know. It sounds fancy. Anyway, we thought we would do a little bit of like a thank you to our OG listeners and audience members by kind of in essence recreating one of our most popular episodes by far,
according to analytics.
Yes. And if this was not your favorite, my bad, but you're also welcome, because maybe you'll learn something new about us,
and you can let us know what your favorite one was. I mean, I don't know, maybe interact with us a little bit, maybe.
But we also
want a little salty.
They're not gonna like us if we're bitchy to them.
It's kind of
to them. So we thought we also wanted to give the experience to any newcomers who maybe picked it up
don't want to go backwards.
who maybe picked it up later in the series, for lack of a better word. But yeah, we wanted to give you just a, like kind of a general recap of some information about us to help maybe you'll relate to us better, or maybe you'll understand kind of where we come from on our positions on some certain topics. I don't know. Maybe you're just nosy. I'm nosy as hell. So yeah. So we're just gonna tell you all about ourselves and see how it goes.
Does that mean,
And
So
let's face
I
it, it's
really
us? We're going to
feel
fly by the seat of
like,
our pants.
okay,
true story.
we were having a conversation, we took a break because two of us have not had any coffee today, and the other one has had excessive amounts of coffee today.
Who? Who? I don't know who.
And the other one of us that has had excessive amounts of coffee today also got coffee. And
Hooty
I think we're going to be
hoo!
able to know who that is as she's making owl noises
No, hooty
like a
hoo.
crazy person.
No, hooty hoo is from a song, and shame on you for not knowing that.
I wasn't thinking about songs right now. I'm literally still trying to wake up.
In any event, yeah. So
Drinking from my cauldron.
all right.
As you
So
do.
let me
As you do.
give you a brief recap about yours truly, Harley. Hey, hi, howdy. I am usually
Batshit crazy.
that's one opinion. That's one opinion. I am usually pretty animated. My filter
That's an
is
understatement.
much less you know useful and effective than my two co-hosts. But it's usually provides for some colorful and typically comedic relief when we're discussing intense topics. And if you would like evidence of this, you don't have to listen to the full episode. Just listen to the last, I'd say, 2 minutes. 2 minutes of the episode that we wrapped up 2024 with, and you'll get an indication of the type of shenanigans that I bring to the table. Okay. I'm Harley, and I'm in my mid-30s, and some people know more precisely what that means, and others are just blissfully unaware, and that's
And
okay.
Hex says hi.
And Raven's muted, but she said something. I don't know what she said. I don't know. She shrugged. I'm in my mid-30s, and I am married to Hex hears me. Hex hears me. All right. So I am in my mid-30s. Jesus Christ, I've said that like 12,000 times. Do you not know how old I am? I'm married. I call my husband Joker. BT dubs, in case you are under some misinformed place and think that these are our real names, these are pseudonyms. Okay, no, there is not really. Well, I am not the real person named Harley married to the real person named Joker. Those are just nicknames.
That would be bananas.
Yeah. And together he and I have 4 children. It is a blended family, 100% through and through. I had 2 children from previous relationships, and he had 2 children from previous. One was a relationship, the other was happy
We're going to go with
accident.
relationships.
And
So they're a mini Brady Bunch.
then, but we have no children together, and we met in high school and never dated. We were not high school sweethearts. Please don't be like, you're high school sweethearts. And if you are somebody, excuse me, who happens to be in high school and you have a similar stance that I had as a younger person. Don't pinpoint me and Joker as your reference point to say, see, you don't know mom, you don't know dad. Me and Jimmy John are going to get married one day and have babies and live happily ever after. No, we did not get together. We were not in a romantic relationship of any way, of any fashion until many, many years later. And yeah,
And
now
Joker is
we're
the reason that Harley and Rain are friends. And if you want that full recap, that's on Patreon
Is it?
because it is quite humorous.
I don't remember. I don't know. No,
Seriously,
listen.
We've talked about a lot of topics.
We have
were
covered.
you trying to copy her
No,
freaking?
no. That was coffee talk from Saturday Night Live. Oh, I'm all verklempt. I'll give you a topic.
Oh my Jesus Christ! All right, so we have covered a very broad range of topics, and I know I have a general idea of what went to Patreon and what just was mass
We elaborated more on Patreon
published. Yeah.
because
So,
we talked to become friends. We talked a lot of shit.
So Joker was the bridge that brought me and Rain together. And now it's Rain's turn to give her little segment portion introduction breakdown. And then in case for those who like a little picture, there's going to be a little bridge from Harley to Rain, and then there's going to be a bridge from Rain to Raven, and then there's going to be a bridge from Raven to Harley, and that sounded like Horley. Ooh, that's not okay. From Raven to Harley, and that bridge just happens to also be Rain. So we have a nice little circle. It's a circle, never ending because it's a circle. No?
Okay, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. So
Sorry.
why my best friend just tried to deep throat my mic? I don't know, but
Oh, I thought she was
digress.
gargling balls.
My mouth
I
would
mean, one
not
of the
open
two.
big
It
enough
could have
to
been
get
the
this mouth-
the
this mic in
bejeweled
there.
balls that she referenced last
Oh, now
episode.
you
But
spoiled the surprise.
okay, I said bejeweled balls. That's probably going to get them very curious, and they're going to go be like, "What the fuck?
What have these crazy bitches done
Did
now?
I say bejeweled or bedazzled?
I think you said bedazzled, but they're
Bejeweled, bedazzled,
interchangeable, kind of like ball sizes. I just realized what my hands were doing.
kind of like playing a banjo."
And they typically don't hang even.
No, they really don't.
Okay,
Kinda
so
funny.
we're going to segue from talking about how balls hang
In their
into
turkey sack.
yeah, and I swear my kid has made a comment about wanting a Sphinx cat, and I just yell, "I don't want a ball sack."
Oh, it's not that. It's that they will leave imprints of their butthole everywhere that they
I
sit
don't. They also
because
look.
they don't have any hair.
They also look like a ball sack.
Stop it.
Anyway,
Stop
so-
it. You're giving me flashbacks to my gym rants, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty. All right. I don't want to see
Y'all are gonna
the
have to go
hairless cat
to the
Eye
last
of
episode for
Sauron
that.
imprinted on everything. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't
Look,
want
there's a reason that when I stand up from a public plastic seat, I kind of slide a little bit to kind of like use my pants as a towel.
okay,
So now we all know
that was
Raven
in the
has
last
a
episode.
sweaty
It's
butthole.
So
Really warm in there.
okay,
Hot pocket.
Shush. Okay, I am Rain. I am still in my 30s as this is being recorded, and I have my partner goes by the name of Captain.
Because
he
they
is a
run a
self-
rather tight shipwreck.
We run a shipwreck. There's chaos, there's mutiny, and I mean the mutiny is being headed up by the dogs. It's just
That tracks.
I give up. We have 2 kids, and I call them my Witchkins. So Witchkin 1 is Captain's daughter from a previous relationship, and Witchkin 2 is my daughter from a previous relationship. And together we have 4 very large, boisterous, sweet, sweet, sweet babies.
I forgot to say that I refer to my spawn as gremlins because it's less offensive than should have been swallowed.
Crotch fruit.
So my
Still
Witchkin
Slurpee?
2
Mm-mm. Sorry,
over
I'm okay.
overgrown sperm. Um,
Okay, that is gonna be. I swear to God, I'm gonna make sure that I have you bitches on the phone the next time I'm in the car because that is going to be the next insult that I hurl at somebody who pisses me off while I'm driving. Get the fuck out of my way, you overgrown sperm! Mwah, chef's
but you
kiss.
could think TikTok for that because I saw it on some random thing. Anyway, she has 2 friends that both of these friends call me mom. And what she has make sure to tell her friends in order for them to know that she appreciates them and she values them is she goes, "I'm sorry your parents suck, but I'm happy you weren't swallowed." And this is why she is also called Savage Barbie.
Oh, she
And
is
this is
Savage Barbie.
Actually,
Holy
that is
shit.
a mild reason as to why she's called
Yeah,
Savage
that's
Barbie.
like
that
a
is
very
that is
tame reason.
that's Witchkin 2, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm gonna buy her a puppy because she makes me so proud.
You buy another fucking puppy for this house, I'm gonna kill you. I got
Okay.
4. I'm good.
I was totally lying, and I just said the first thing that popped into my head. Fine, I'll correct myself. I'm gonna buy her a pony.
Yes.
She'll probably be happier with a cow.
Oh, Highland Coo. Fluffy
I'm
cow.
gonna-
Mini Highland Coop.
I'm gonna be a dick and fun. I'm gonna be a dick and buy her a bull so that she gets slapped with a dick when it's mad. Ooh, Mike, you're looking Witchkin too. You look mighty muscular. Thanks, it's all the extra protein.
That's your niece you're talking about.
Dude, that's your daughter.
It's not the first time that has been needed to be reminded to participants of a discussion that was borderline inappropriate, not in like a pedo way, but in like a we're not directly connecting the characters that we're referencing with the
In
actual
this case,
person.
it's we're referring to Captain completely being oblivious.
Yeah. Long story short, oh, Rain, baby, wrong time to take a drink. Swallow. Get that shit good and down. All right, you ready? Long story short, the tale that Rain is referencing, it involves the helicopter. And
That's right.
and it involves a completely out of place comment of I bet that's how we got her from a certain somebody. And
Who
then
was not paying attention enough.
I turned around and I said, "We are talking about your daughter." And I don't think I have ever stupefied somebody to the extent that I stupefied that man that day. And if you've never seen a grown, proud, reasonable individual tuck their
Who's-
tail and slowly retreats out of shame, let me tell you,
It
it's
happened.
glorious. It's
Because it
fucking
is
glorious.
difficult to do that to that man. And so when you're able to do it, you're just like, wow,
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
I
no.
win the world.
It was a once in a lifetime thing.
Which
It
can
never
you and I
happened again.
did that to him today.
I don't want to hear. Tell me about you. I want to know you, Rain. Oh my god.
Oh.
Okay, real quick reference.
so-
If anybody watches Bob's Burgers, details. I want to know details.
I don't, but rock on.
I don't. But
Yes.
go on.
So
Yes.
I have
and?
4 dogs that run that are heading up the mutiny of my house, of my shipwreck. I am a crafty bitch, and I probably have too many hobbies that I keep expanding upon, but that's neither here nor there because I use the craft supplies I have at some point.
Mhm.
Um, let's see. So I'm a crafty bitch, but I'm also a crafty witch, and I'm a the easiest way for me to say that is I'm a hearth witch. So I am a house witch. I like cooking. I like making sure my home is comfortable to people who come over, and so far I've done a really good job of that, considering people have referred to it as their second home, including some
And so
person on this podcast.
you've got 2 bonus daughters, so you probably you're doing something right.
Yeah, the hilarious of the cutesy voice coming over Witchkin 2's phone of I love her to death. But it's just anytime she sees me, that's the first thing she says.
What is that pouty face for?
Well, I feel like I need to explain my actions on camera that have happened once or twice.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Because all right, okay. Don't get old. It's a bitch. People lie. It's not fun. Okay, it's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have issues in my back. Not even being like not no innuendo. I legit have back issues. And so I have like a slightly overpriced office chair to be more ergonomic, right? Well, that didn't work. That wasn't enough. So, in addition to having a overpriced office chair that I'm currently sitting in, I have like a jelly memory foam butt cushion that I sit on my office chair to, further comfort. And the best way I can describe it is after sitting for too long, it's like my butt deflates and it feels like I'm sitting directly on my tailbone. So I have to shift. Otherwise, it feels like the little coccyx, which is the official name of the base of your tailbone. What would have been a tail were you a rat? That's your coccyx. And I feel like that's going to poke through my butt if I sit down for too long. I got without shifting.
Yeah,
So
like
my
my
butthole,
office
my
chair.
butthole, my butt deflates.
My office chair is old and it's like lost all of its cushioning. And I work from home, so I sit in that thing for close to 8 hours a day. I'm trying to get out of it more often. But yeah,
Yeah.
after a couple hours, I'm like, holy fuck, my tailbone has gone to sleep. And I've broken that bitch several times. So I don't want to, and I've bruised it after breaking it. So I don't want to go through that bullshit anymore.
No.
It sucks.
So if you wonder why it looks like Harley is looks like she's like trying to
Doing the chair
position to
boogaloo.
squeak out a fart or something.
I hate it when they go up the front. Fuck
I'm
those
not
things.
I'm not trying to squeak
Don't
one
come
out.
at me
I'm
sideways,
not,
Rain. I see that face. You know what it feels like. It is so weird. And
I'm
then you have
not
to like
trying.
shimmy weird, and people are like, I know what you're doing.
Oh, all right. You know what?
The fact that Hartley's still trying to talk and you're talking over her, and now I am.
I am not trying to aim the cannon of doom in my office to let loose. All right. I'm just trying to
Cannon
adjust.
of doom.
Now, Rain, can we please get back on topic and can you bridge to Raven? Remember, it's a circle.
Crafty bitch.
God damn it. Stop making shit and just do the fucking podcast.
I actually wasn't making shit. I made that like 2 days ago. Including a little succulent that looks really
I
cute.
am
But
not
so now the bridge to Raven and so Joker was the bridge between me and Harley, and Witchkin 2, and as you will come to find out, Apprentice 2 brought me and Raven together.
They did.
And I will let that go to her side.
Hi, I'm Raven. I have been married to my darling, adorable partner, Dar, for 21 years now. I am not in my 30s, and we're going to leave it at that because I don't like the number that's approaching. We do not have a blended family, so I do not have anybody else to blame my kids' genetics on, except for the two of us. We have Apprentice 1. Apprentice 1.5 is my oldest partner, and then Apprentice 2 is my youngest. Apprentice 1 is, fuck my life, he's almost 20. He's almost 20. He got to vote for the first time this year. Him and his partner got to vote for the first time this year, so that was awesome.
When you say almost 20, he's like 19. He's not turning 20.
He's turning 20 in July.
Fuck you.
I know.
Sideways with the most pokey, spindly cactus
I know.
that you can come across. No, fuck
because
you,
sometimes
my what the fuck ever, my
I know.
son number 1, my oldest, is turning 20.
Gremlin 1.
Yes, Gremlin. I couldn't remember the word.
She got so worked up.
My Gremlin 1 is turning 20. Or, well, by the time this airs, he will be 20 by the end of 2024. So, therefore,
Witchkin 1 will be 20 in April.
I'm going to throw my phone at both you bitches' faces, and it's in an OtterBox, so it's going to hurt.
Oh, it gets better.
Go
Apprentice
ahead.
2 is going to be 17 next month.
Mine, Witchkin 2 is already 17.
And when I look at these two, okay, y'all know the tropes about like, you still see me as a kid. It's so fucking true because when I look at these kids and how big they are and how old they are and how accomplished they are, superimposed over their current image. Don't you dare moon me, you asshole. That's Apprentice 1, by the way. Yes.
I'm so glad I was muted because that would have not picked up on audio when I cackled. Oh God, it was
my
awesome.
God.
Go ahead. Who's mooning you? Wait, is it Dar or is
No, it was Apprentice 1. Dar mooned me during the last episode. I don't know what's wrong with these two. Anyway, sometimes when I look at them,
blame but yourself.
Maybe you should introduce them to sugaring.
Maybe, because at least then it would not be so hairy and traumatizing. When I look at him, sometimes I see how accomplished he is. I see what a good person he is. But superimposed over that is the image of toddler Apprentice 1 in a diaper. He's probably a year and a half old, and he's standing on Dar's office chair and moving Dar's mouse and pointing at the monitor and grinning like a loon. And so that image of that little blonde baby gets superimposed over this big, slightly bearded person who is working on getting his life together. And it's weird to see the two images like that. It's weird. So I have to work really hard to remember that he's not that little boy, that he is a legal adult, and allow him to live life on his own terms.
Raven.
It's hard.
Raven, I apologize.
Especially when he moons me.
I apologize. I apologize so much. I really, really do.
For
because
what?
After you said the comment about maybe it wouldn't be so hairy, I couldn't process any of the other words that came out of your mouth because I was just hearing a Chewbacca sound in my head.
Oh, so you've met my two male family members.
I don't want to talk about it. But I can definitely 100% relate because you know what? It's not a story that I'm going to put on any sort of public social platform, but I will share with you because it is quite comical. Okay. Go ahead, Raven.
Okay. I am the oldest of 7, and no, that is not a misspeak. That is 7 biological people who share the same parents. There is no blending in that family either, except maybe of genetics. I think that got a little mixed up because we're all a little fucked up. And they are exceptionally hairy people, and please don't ask how I know this, because 5 of them are boys.
She was the oldest of 7, so there you go.
Raven, I applaud you for being able to conceal your third ear so effectively. If that was, no, I'm kidding.
It's the third nipple. No, just kidding. I'm not Chandler.
Don't. That's gonna suck because nipple clamps come in sets of 2. You always end up with an extra one. I don't know.
There's some that come in sets of 3.
Oh,
That wouldn't be for.
I don't.
That
I
would
don't.
be
Typically, it's
for.
not for your nipple.
We're gonna. No.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
It's got a
No.
slightly longer chain than the other
Yeah.
two.
Back on track. Rewind.
Back on
Rewind.
track. Dar and I are both Air Force veterans. We actually met at basic training, which is wild in and of itself. If you know anything about military folk and basic or their job training school, you'll be like, what the fuck? How? So we're both mid-20s when we met, and we had the same job. We went to the same tech school. We were hanging out, and then fuck, are we dating? And then we got sent to the same base, and well, apparently it's fate. So we've been married for 21 years now. My marriage is officially old enough to drink, which it does on the weekends because that's fun. We like to watch shows together. We like to run errands together. I mean, I know it sounds old and boring, but he's my favorite person. I like spending time with him more than I like spending time with these two, but I do love spending time with these two because they're awesome.
I was gonna say, bitch, am I chopped liver?
No, but he gives me something y'all just cannot. So,
Yeah, fair enough.
and it does not start with an O; it starts with a D.
Fair enough.
Harley muted herself again and then forgot.
No, I know the fucking. You know what? I've covered this. I've covered this in previous episodes, but me and technology do not get along, like in the slightest. Prime example: I was muted. I clicked with my mouse the unmute button, and you know what it fucking did? It registered a double click,
It went.
so it took me off mute and put me back on when I started talking. Fuck you, technology. And
Yes.
now the ADHD has taken full effect. I don't know what the fuck I was trying to say.
I don't either. But so there was a time when so I call my what?
I remember.
What?
I remember.
What?
But it doesn't make sense now. So go ahead.
Okay. So I love steampunk, which is why I call my kids apprentices, because it just kind of seems to fit with the aesthetic. And you'll probably at some point see my steampunk tattoos show up because I really do love it. I don't know, for those of you that are not watching this on YouTube, I have a semicolon tattoo on one of my fingers because if you've been with us for any length of time, you have heard us talk about mental health. And I am not going to be fucking shy. I'm going to channel Our Lady Carrie, patron saint of mental fuckery, and tell you that, yeah, I have depression and it fucking sucks. And I am seeking help for it, but it's a constant battle. And I'm not going to be shy about it. I'm going to encourage you to get help for your mental fuckery. And so are these two, because we all suffer from something. And sometimes I'm not sure if it's we suffer from it or we make others suffer from it. But in any case, so
column A, column B.
Yeah.
I always aim for a nice 50-50 mixture.
Uh-huh.
Misery loves company. If I'm going to suffer,
Sometimes
I'm
it
bringing
does.
you down with me.
Indeed. Yeah. So
I don't know what y'all are talking about. I'm a fucking delight.
Aren't we all? There was a point in time where Apprentice 2 and Witchkin 2 were friends because they met in middle school, and it's okay because they are wildly different people. And
oh my God, so different.
Rain and I can appreciate each of them and their differences, but upon meeting each other, it was just kind of like instant friends. It was very strange, just this kind of instant connection. And then when our kids drifted apart, we were like, yeah, fuck those two.
Yeah, pretty much.
And because Rain was already friends with Harley, she introduced me. And Harley, our darling brat, has a hard time sharing.
Oh my God, does she?
Anything. And her not wanting to share her husband is completely understandable because no offense, honey, I don't want to share him. But her not wanting to share
You're lucky I don't have any sharp objects mentioning sharing my husband. I'm kidding.
Her not wanting to share Rain with another friend was kind of amusing at first. And, y'all have been friends for a long time. I'm the newcomer. That's cool. I'll step back. No worries. My feelings aren't hurt. Everything's gravy. But eventually.
But I pretty much told Harley that she needs to get over her shit because she lives 3 hours away, and I still need people.
This is true, but eventually my glorious winning personality won Harley over. I like
All
to think that's
because
how it
of
went.
a Moms of Chaos beach trip.
Well,
We really need another one.
I think
We do.
okay.
Or a mountain
So-
trip.
It's been-
Ooh, a mountain
So,
trip.
all right. So the beach trip, in my mind, finalized or like officially like put the bow and sealed the deal. Like, mwah, done, finito. Okay. But I think that similar to me and Brain, I think that what started the negotiations to enter into the said business contract
The
deal
shared custody of Rain.
was, I think that what started it was I was being Harley and
Otherwise known as a brat.
making some very comical insulting remarks about a particular egg carton and
FYI, that's what we call people who have donated an egg to a child and
Nothing
sucked at
more.
everything else.
nothing more. So I like to think that I think that I don't think Raven ever had an issue with me. I think it was me having an issue with her. But I think that like
Yes, that's
one-
how that went.
Which is
Shut
funny
up.
because I am a goddamn delight. And you know
So-
it now.
what-
Which is funny because that's also what was the issue with Harley and Captain.
Captain earned it. Captain fucking earned it.
He did. Okay, first of all, why you're mad at Captain was my doing.
I didn't know.
I fucked up.
Cállate su boca. I
Nay.
want to hear it.
I fucked up. I acknowledge I fucked up.
There
You
were
did not acknowledge that I fucked up.
there were actions by both parties. I did
his
not
is
endorse the
retaliation.
actions of either party.
This
However,
was retaliation.
one party whose actions I did not agree with was given some grace based on their position in my circle, and the other party who was trying to still gain entry to the fucking party was like, and I was like,
What entry are we talking about?
no. I didn't get time to see the good, so I can't justify your shitty actions, motherfucker. But then we got put in the timeout shirt and we got along now.
Yes, they
But
Yeah, I pretty much did have to put them in a timeout shirt
Well,
because
they
it was bad.
but
And
I think that Raven seeing the that side
Comical.
of me.
I
Yeah.
fucking love Harley's rants because she gets so animated and so like just this way of speaking comes out of her that you cannot possibly be duplicated. And 9 times out of 10, if you ask her to repeat exactly what she said, she's not going to be able to because it was completely off the cuff. But it's
And
always
she has
entertaining
no idea
and
what
hilarious.
she said.
Yes.
No. I can sometimes get like a general synopsis,
Mhm.
but like a bullet points overview. But I word for word verbatim. No.
Yep.
No. Check the tape. I don't fucking know.
Exactly. And so some of the things that you're going to hear from us is we like to talk about self-care. We like to talk about mental fuckery. We like to talk about some of the funniness and bullshitness of raising kids and or being like occupying female presenting bodies in this day and age. We do call each other out and we call ourselves out when we've fucked up with shit, as you just heard from Rain. Admit that she fucked up. We're going to do that. And partially that's so that y'all can't come back at us and tell us that we fucked up because we already know. We already admitted it. Neener.
No.
The thing
no.
of it is
We're
that fucking up is part of life.
Totally.
And if you cannot admit when you fuck up, you're never going to learn, and you're always going to be that person that wants to be the fucking victim. And I'm gonna want to smack you
And
if
nobody
I
likes
come in
that.
contact with you.
Nobody wants to hang out with you like that.
We on this podcast, we share stories
Sometimes too much.
more often than not we share information, and when we're sharing, we we try to be as forthcoming as possible, with saying this, this is what I did, this was what I went through. Looking back, I realize now that when I did this, not the best choice. And so we try to use
And
our
normally we say we
experiences and our
fuck up and beat
yeah,
the shit out of ourselves and poke fun.
we try to acknowledge where our missteps were, and in the hopes that, number one, we just want to share and talk about shit that we've encountered that we feel like more often than not is encountered and is usually
We
Not
want to
talked
dealt with in
about.
normalize some of
silence.
this shit because
And
it doesn't get talked about.
but we also kind of want to oh, I just hit my mic. We also want to like just share experiences and what we've gone through, because maybe somebody is going through a similar situation, and hearing somebody else's experiences and what their lessons learned from their missteps were might help them to make a more healthy and actually decision and resolve the issue.
Yeah.
um
And you're not
but
alone.
with that being said, um Harley, that's me, Rain, and Raven, we have referred to ourselves on more than one occasion, and we encourage others to seek out and build a tribe. Have people who
Find people that
who
actually have your back that'll prove
yes,
it.
have build that community, that group where if one person's struggling or is down, the others work to hold them up and lift them up. But on the caveat to that is that we do call each other on each other's shit.
Uh-huh.
So I promised you. I promise
Normally
you. I
after we're
promise
done
you.
laughing at them,
Yeah.
because I
promise.
got laughed at pretty hard about my rage issues this last week.
Yeah, I promise you that if one of us is telling or sharing, a little tidbit about something, and the thought crosses your mind that, damn, I fucked up, and you're one of those people that's like, or damn, you fucked up, and you're one of those people that's like, that's all you hear is, and you stop actively listening and just start anticipating how you want to respond. Number one, that's not how you communicate. Number two, I can guarantee you that whatever snarky ass comment that you think you're going to share and put us in our place, and I'm going to show you.
Yeah, we've already
Number
thought of it.
one, haterade, go sit down. No one likes you. Okay. Number one. Number two, we've already addressed that with each other. Just because you don't hear it on the podcast
Uh-huh.
doesn't mean that it didn't happen. There are, more often than not, no, not more often than not, every single time, every single story that we share, we are filtering, because although we are sharing quite a bit in this public forum, we are still redacting certain
Information.
personal identifying factors. So we're giving you the Reader's Digest version of
Yeah.
the story.
We're
Giving
inviting
you the elaborated version,
We're-
but
yeah.
we're people, and we're mothers, and we're
We're
partners.
inviting you into our lives, but we're trying to respect the privacy of our
Those in our
children, our
lives.
partners, and make sure that they have the level of anonymity that they want as much as
And
we can give them.
And that's, by no means am I telling people not to interact with us. By all means, interact. But what I'm strictly referring to, and what that little tangent and rant was about, my bad. That is more in reference to the intent behind the comment. You can comment whatever you want, but if your intent behind the comment is clearly understood to be that of hate or disrespect or any other negative connotation.
God help you.
That's not something that we're asking for. That's not something that we are wanting, and it's quite frankly not something that we'll tolerate.
Oh no, we'll come for you.
So, but if the intent behind the comment is curiosity or genuine insight or suggestion, that is, and even so far as constructive criticism, that is acceptable. What is not acceptable is, again, just vile, nasty. That is what
y'all can fuck right off with that.
we're trying to shed light on the fact that some of these things and situations that people encounter, that the quote unquote Instagram filter has like put blinders on society so that we ignore or we think are, these abstract, concepts. We're trying to show and spread the word that you're not an outlier. You're not a weirdo because you are dealing with something that's not openly addressed on, a lot of popular forums or what have you. You're not
It's
alone,
also not
and
always addressed in a way that isn't trendy.
Yeah, and that's our
Mental
actual
fuckery
mission.
is one of them.
It is our actual mission, and you've probably heard it in some of our intros, is to remove the Instagram filter from life and parenting, because this shit is messy. It's real. It's not always fun. It's not always funny. For shit's sake, it's not always funny. But
We
more
tell
of us,
it's funny.
yeah, but more of us go through that shit than not. And so to pretend that your entire life is just this beautiful filter and everything is perfect and everyone is perfectly coiffed and dressed. No, fuck that shit. No, we're gonna be real.
All right.
There's a reason that we are here and we are not wearing makeup, because this is on a weekend. We don't need to wear makeup on a weekend. We don't go unless we're going somewhere, and that's hit or miss on if we wear makeup at all.
Yep.
So
this is us. This is who we are.
Prime example and point, and still, a little funny demonstration, if you will. People are like, my baby, having a baby, and parenthood is so like filtered, and also the most highly criticized thing.
Oh my shit.
Oh my God, you put this picture of like your family eating like a meal together, and that's awesome. But I saw chicken nuggets on the table. Do you know that's processed? And no, fuck off. Fuck off. You don't know the ins and outs, all right? But you want to get real? All right,
those You're seeing pictures, a snapshot of somebody's life, not the whole fucking thing.
You want something real that maybe doesn't get addressed. Guess what? If you go through parenthood, you are going to, at one point or another, deal with fresh, warm, probably coming straight out from the source pee and or poo and or any other bodily fluid that didn't, hopefully it's not the same of the stuff that made the baby, because then you need to talk to Jesus. But like all the other stuff, you're gonna deal with that, and you're gonna be desensitized to it by the time you're fucking done raising that baby. Guarantee you.
So
I just grossed everybody out, and I am so sorry. Side note, I have been watching way too much true crime, and there are some sick sons of bitches out there. But
there are. If you need a palate cleanser, Dara and I have been watching Two Broke Girls.
Oh, that's funny.
Witchkin 2 loves that one. No, but sorry, Witchkin 2 was showing me something. One of the things is we can take criticism. But if you're going to criticize us and say something we post looks like it's a presentation for middle school, well, that's not very constructive.
It's not.
That was fucking funny though. That was
funny, but it's also not constructive.
I'm not even gonna lie. I don't.
You thought that was hilarious. You thought that was funny as shit.
To be completely, yes, that was like a real life comment that was made on an Instagram post. And like I legit responded and I was like, all right, I'm open to any fucking tips and tricks. I
How'd
don't
you
know
do
what
it?
to do with this shit. Never got a response. And also that comment in particular, it was so it was about something that in the grand scheme of things is so meaningless.
It's trivial.
It's trivial. You're
Right.
gonna, okay, you
This
don't
is
like
what you're
the way
spending
I
your energy
made
on? All right,
an
boo.
Instagram post. That's fine. I don't care about the intent behind that. If you were trying to hurt my feelings, you didn't. You made me fucking
Good fucking
cackle.
luck.
All right, number one. Number two, if the intent was constructive, it needs a little follow through. So there's my constructive feedback to you. Don't start something you can't finish. You know, follow through, see it through, just like your dad did to your mom. Let's finish the job.
Oh,
All right.
You have been watching a lot of fucked up shit.
Oh my God. You have no fucking idea. Oh, Jesus Christ. Way too much. Anyway,
way too much. So yes, our mission is to remove the Instagram filter from life, help you see that you're not alone, encourage you to handle your mental fuckery in a way that makes sense to you, but is still fucking handling it. Don't let that shit slide, assholes.
Don't be an ostrich.
No, don't be an ostrich. We're trying to encourage you to find community, build community. Come here if you can't find it anywhere else. That's absolutely fine. Keep in
Reach
mind
out to
though.
us.
Excuse me. Keep in mind though that our motto is fuck around and find out. So we're not going to put up with misinformation. We're not going to put up with slurs. We're not going to put up with putting people down. You want to tackle our ideas or the way we say things? Go for it. All day long, 100%.
Having a conversation. So that touches on another thing, and that's Hex, will you stop barking at the cars driving by?
what Rain is trying to say, it's about having an open and respectful dialogue.
I want to say it.
Okay.
I can't hear you over Hex, babe. I can't hear you.
Okay.
Still can't
Well,
hear
it's
you.
because, okay, so what I was going to say before my dog so rudely fucking interrupted me, repeatedly. We have very different views. We come from different backgrounds. We are different levels of blended family or not blended family. We have different types of mental fuckery, although ours are kind of the same flavor because that's, what friends share more often than not is mental fuckery.
We have the same foundation, but there's some different seasonings added to each person's mix, if you know what I mean.
Right. And if you want to get into controversial stuff, head over to Patreon.
Yep.
That's Harley will sometimes join in on that, but most of the time that's me and Raven, and we don't always agree.
No, but we're going to talk current events. We're going to talk politics when necessary because politics does affect our daily lives and our families. So yeah, we are going to talk about it. And Harley knows she's more than welcome to join whenever she wants, and we're not going to force her.
No,
there are things that Harley does want to join in on, and that's controversial topics when it comes to parenting. Because we're not going to address that here.
So part of if you happen to follow the Harley social media, the Instagram or the Facebook, then I believe it was on the Harley page, then you would have seen the post where I acknowledged that I am not everybody's cup of tea, right? And that's fine. There is no single person that everybody encounters on the face of the earth and it's like, oh my God, I love blah 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 blah. That person is blah 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 blah. No, and it's the old adage: you can't make everybody happy, and I don't aim to do that. Okay, I acknowledge
I
and
aim
I
to
understand.
misbehave.
Huh?
I aim to misbehave.
Yeah. So, but
she doesn't get the reference.
That's okay.
What I don't. But what I do make an effort to try to minimize my, annoying presence to some people, is I do, in some form or fashion, try to limit that person's exposure to me. Because I doesn't mean that I did something directly to them or vice versa. We just don't vibe, and that's okay. I understand that. But part of me is, and part of what my co-hosts call my brat tendencies, because I understand I'm a brat. I can be, more often than not. I am, but part of that is I am, when I make up my mind, when I make a decision about my stance on a certain issue, I am pretty committed. I'm pretty set in that decision. I'm not I it, I'm
Very true.
not I'm not when I say that, I'm not pig-headed. I'm not, I'm not completely closed off to discussion, to understand somebody's opposing stance on a topic. I'm happy to engage in that conversation. I'm happy to, exchange information you know, and ask questions and answer questions, and the healthy open dialogue. But going back to understanding that I'm not everybody's cup of tea, I typically do not participate in the chaos controversial topics on Patreon for that very reason, because some quote
Some
unquote
topics are a little,
some quote unquote controversial topics, um even though during the discussion you'll hear an openness and willingness to converse about, opposing viewpoints and stances on whatever the topic may be, there are those in the world that doesn't matter how respectful the disagreement is voiced, all that they process and account and take into consideration is that this person doesn't see things the same way I do. And on top of that, this person, Harley, is not only doesn't agree with me, but she is unwilling to hear, intelligent facts to make her decision. No, I'm unwilling to have my decision and my mind and my will bent to fit and suit your needs. And that ruffles quite a few feathers. And so I just,
she will listen and
rather than
engage in
risk that.
conversation,
Yeah.
but she's going to want receipts for where you got your information. She's going to do her own fact checking. It doesn't, if she's wrong and she can find evidence that she's wrong, she'll admit it. Granted, she does so very begrudgingly and very bratty, but she does acknowledge when she needs to acknowledge it.
Oh yeah, I don't play well with others. So when I get proven wrong, I'm not
She's a whiny bitch.
I'm not a graceful loser.
Same.
But I do usually try to mask my disgruntled loss with
Same.
humor. But it's very abundantly clear that Harley is not happy that she got proven wrong. And it's
Yeah.
just
I'm
an
going
ego
to
thing.
point
Fucking hate
out
that.
What it
that
boils down
I
to.
call both of them out on it, and I expect them to do the same to me, and they do.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Anyway,
After they're done laughing.
yes, of course, because
yes.
if you don't have
'Cause
laughter in your life, I feel really fucking sorry for you.
if you okay, first of all, whenever we get angry, the shit that comes out of our mouth is funny and terrifying simultaneously. It depends on what level of true crime that we're going for.
Mhm.
Um, and it really does. But even the darker side of it is very comical.
Mhm.
But
I am going to bow out of commenting on this because I don't want to implicate myself. Thank you.
and shit like that.
See?
But no, we call each other out on shit, and when we're angry, there are a select few that can actually calm us down and get us talking about something else. And some of the time it's our partners, some of the time it's our tribe,
Mhm. Yeah.
and
And
some of the time it's everybody leave me the fuck alone and let me cuddle with my dogs, and I will talk to you whenever I feel like talking to another human being again because breathing is pissing me off.
Yes.
and trust and believe that there are times that we might misgauge somebody's openness to discussing whatever is upsetting them.
Mhm.
And you can also take that with the understanding that that person will express
Let you know.
sometimes in not the nicest way, but it's not taken personally because we understand there's other shit going on that they're not.
Mhm.
Don't. I don't want to
Yeah.
talk about it. I'll talk to you later. No, bye. And
Yeah.
that's it.
So you're going to hear us
Yeah.
say a lot, do you want me to commiserate or do you want solutions? Because sometimes a rant is just a rant. Sometimes a rant is seeking alternatives,
Help me.
Sometimes. Yeah. So
Help
you'll hear us say
me.
shit like that a lot. You're going to hear us call each other out for, hey, have you had your meds today? Have you drank water? So
Yes. And
that's
yes.
yeah, yes and yes. That's pretty much a good synopsis of what you can expect from us this year, and I'm hoping for a lot more crazy adventures and shenanigans because I live for that shit. We're
For
sorry or
real.
you're welcome is probably something else you're going to hear from us. That's our unofficial motto.
Yep.
The official one
Yep.
is fuck around and find out because that's how we live our lives. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season filled with people that uplift you and good yummy food and no injuries or jail time.
And hopefully none of your kids break any bones this year because, that sucks when that happens.
It does. It does.
I'm looking at you, Witchkin 2.
That's who I was thinking of because I'm pretty. I can't say that. I'm not going to say that out loud. I'm just going to jinx it.
Motherfucker. I just realized I have like the gnarliest pimple right between my fucking eyes. Why didn't you bitches tell me? I would have gone off camera like immediately. Jesus.
So I
We
don't
can't
have.
see it.
I don't have my eyeballs in at all. So no,
Okay,
I
and
can't
if
see it.
you
And
have-
your video is always like kind of like grainy and pixelated to me.
fine.
So no, couldn't see a thing.
To any of our viewers, if you have 20/20 vision, you're not allowed to watch. If you have corrective lenses, you take those bitches off to watch this episode. Please and thank you.
See, we're gonna be real with you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Seriously. All right.
All right. Well, hit us up on our socials. All the major platforms is Chaos Connections Podcast. And we have our individuals that are going to be linked. And Harley just put her headband on like a freaking. Yeah.
Like a freak.
God, I pushed it up and you
And
can
then,
see
and
it.
then
It's
there's,
a worst spot.
it's
Visit our website at mocmediatx.com. That's stands for Moms of Chaos Media Texas.com. So
Sweet y'all.
joy.
let us know what you think. And
I look like I need to go strum a banjo and put my teeth up.
we're sorry or you're welcome.
Oh, thank you, 2025, for giving me a pimple to start, you fucking dick. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.